Well, hello there, YouTube. It's Ro here. Thank you for visiting Ro. If this is your first time here, I hope you'll consider subscribing at the end of this video. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. Today, I'm going to discuss 15 perennial herbs to prune in the spring for a thriving garden. As the chill of winter fades and the garden begins to come alive, spring becomes the perfect time to give your perennial herbs the care they need. Pruning helps these culinary and medicinal staples bounce back with vigorous growth, healthier foliage, and abundant harvests. Coming up are 15 perennial herbs that benefit from spring pruning, along with tips on how to do it right. First up is sage, perennial herb sage. Prune sage to remove winter damage and encourage bushy growth. Cut back the top few inches of stems, avoiding the woody base, as sage does not grow well from old wood. Perennial herb number 2 is thyme. It too can benefit from a spring pruning. This hardy herb thrives with light pruning in spring. Trim back dead growth and shape the plant to keep it compact and encourage new shoots. Perennial herb number 3 is tarragon. I just got done pruning my tarragon this past weekend. French tarragon should be pruned in the spring to remove dead stems and rejuvenate its growth. Cut it back to about 6 inches above the soil. Perennial herb number 4 to prune in the spring is lemon balm. Lemon balm benefits from a thorough pruning in spring. Cut back old stems and shape the plant to control its vigorous spreading tendencies. Perennial herb number 5 to prune in the spring is lavender. That is, if you're able to get it to perennialize in your area. Personally, I haven't had a whole lot of luck with that. I've only gotten lavender to stick around 2 years max, but maybe this will be the year. At any rate, prune lavender in early spring before new growth begins. Remove dead or damaged stems and lightly shape the plant for a healthier, compact appearance. Perennial herb number 6 to prune in the spring is chives. Chives appreciate a refresh in the spring. Trim back any dead foliage and prepare the plant for fresh, tender growth. The 7th perennial herb you should cut back in the spring is oregano. Prune oregano to remove old stems and prevent the plant from becoming too woody. Trim it back by about 1/3 to encourage dense growth. Perennial herb number 8 that you should prune in the spring is mint. Mint can quickly take over a garden, so spring pruning is a must. Trim back dead stems and shape the plant to keep it under control. Perennial herb number 9 that you should trim or prune in the spring is rosemary. Spring is a good time to tidy up rosemary by removing the damaged stems and lightly shaping the plant. Avoid cutting into the woody parts as they may not regenerate. Perennial herb number 10 is marjoram, which is one that I don't currently have on my property, but not to worry, I'm working on it. I'm going to drop some seeds any day now. Cut back marjoram in spring to remove winter damage and encourage lush, fragrant foliage. Trim the stems back to a few inches above the soil. Perennial herb number 11 that could use a spring pruning is hyssop. Pruning hyssop in spring helps maintain its neat shape and promotes healthy new growth. Remove damaged stems and lightly shape the plant. Perennial herb number 12 that we should be pruning in the spring is lemon verbena. Lemon verbena appreciates a spring haircut. Cut it back to remove dead wood and encourage vigorous regrowth for its aromatic leaves. Okay, perennial herb number 13 that we should be pruning in spring is Savory. Now, I don't have Savory going on the property yet either, but I did start some seeds. I've already saw some great representation from my winter Savory, but nothing from my summer Savory so far, which is fine. Summer Savory, not perennial. Winter Savory, yes, it is. At any rate, spring pruning keeps Savory compact and productive. Trim back old stems and shape the plant for a tidy appearance. Perennial herb number 14 to prune in the spring is chamomile. Prune chamomile plants to remove dead stems and prepare them for new growth. Focus on shaping the plant for a balanced look. And the final, number 15, perennial herb that I'm talking about today, not of all time, that should be pruned in the spring is fennel. Fennel should be pruned in the spring to remove old stalks and make room for fresh growth. Trim back any remaining dead stems near the soil. For this final segment, I just wanted to give you guys some pruning tips for perennial herbs. I only have 4, so it should be pretty quick. The first being to use sharp and clean tools. Ensure your pruning shears are sharp to make clean cuts that minimize stress on the plant. Tip number 2 is to focus on dead and damaged growth. Start by removing dead brown stems and leaves before reshaping the plant. Tip number 3, don't over prune. Many herbs grow back quickly, but cutting too much can weaken the plant. And tip number 4 is to feed after pruning. Apply a light organic fertilizer or compost to give your herbs a boost of nutrients as they recover and grow. With a little attention in spring, these 15 herbs will reward you with lush growth and an abundance of flavor and fragrance all year long. Which herbs are waking up in your garden? Tell me down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all in another video on another day. Until then, happy growing, my friends.